That's where I started. Let's see, where am I at today?
I'm sure Mark's not charged.
I'm fully charged, 100%.
I don't know,
I set myself a reminder for the day before I plug it in.
Look at you, Mr. Prepared.
Mister?
I'm usually the same way, I plug mine in the day before.
Yep.
And then I was sitting there, I was doing some
Look at
stuff.
that.
at-
Full
think
throttle,
I was
baby.
doing some stuff at work, and then I was like, oh crap.
Got distracted?
Yeah,
Well, I've learned that your plug works like a champ. This one does not, and hers does. These back here don't. Or at least whenever we had that one day.
Is it off?
But I just plug it in the night before, or day, when I leave to go to work in the morning, I plug it in.
He does a good thing. Hey, both of them have done painting for me.
Yeah, I got caught with my britches down that one day, man. Whew.
They both listen.
Yeah, it's the easier way. Yeah. And then you can use your badge to get back in.
No, I don't. They do this job anyway. What you gotta do?
At least we got this one on Friday. Or whenever it was.
He does almost everything.
There's one water.
Do you want to be listed on
They say that's somewhere.
He's a country attorney.
so basically they're going with a smaller,
Smaller unit count.
yeah.
Yep. That's what I thought. I can't see nothing. There's the boss.
Hello there.
Hey, hey. That's what I'm talking about. Now that's a wonder.
I try to drink one every day.
And now I have me like a tumbler at work, you know, and I just go back there and fill it up. And
All right. Do we want to go ahead and get started? Good evening and welcome to the City of Douglasville Planning Commission meeting. I am Francisco Artley, the chairman for the Planning Commission. The other members of the Planning Commission are Keith Burnett, vice chair, Natalie Fegan, Nathan Zachary, Joy Bates, Ralph Benton, and Mark Van. The staff members are Shayla Reed, community development director, Miranda Jordan, staff attorney, Marissa Jackson, Planning and Zoning Administrator, Chelsea Tubbs, Planner 1, and Joya Mitchell, intern. There are a few protocol items I need to make you aware of before we start the meeting. Please listen closely on how tonight's meeting will be conducted. Keep your comments and presentation on a professional level, dealing with the facts that are important for this commission to make its decision. We will not accept comments that are considered by the chair to be a personal attack on any individual or group of individuals. You'll receive a warning from the chair if you deviate from this requirement. A second deviation will result in a request for you to leave the meeting and the premises for the evening. Refrain from any applause or comments from the audience. Only one person will be talking at a time, and all comments will be made at the podium after the speaker has been recognized by the chair. Please direct all comments to the chair and the commission, not to the audience or the staff. Please do not applaud or react to speakers, speak from the audience, cheer, carry on a conversation with others in the audience, or disrupt the order of this meeting in any way. Be aware that these hearings are not a debate or an opportunity to ask questions which must be answered by any individual tonight, but are merely an opportunity to present information to the commission. Other than the applicant, no person may speak more than once. The applicant may reserve part of his or her speaking time as a rebuttal and may speak next and last and may use the entire 20 minutes allotted for the pro side of the application. Other than the applicant, no person may speak longer than 5 minutes. If you have a cell phone or any other electronic device, I ask that you either power them off or put them in silent mode. If anyone wishes to speak tonight, please fill out a form available at the table up front and hand it to the staff before approaching the podium. After each case is called, we will hear next from the Planning and Zoning Administrator, and then we will hear from the applicant or their representative about what their plans are for the property, along with any other relevant information they wish to present. The commission members will be free to ask questions at any time before the vote on a project. Following the applicant, anyone who wishes to speak for or against the project or just ask questions will have an opportunity to do so. The city ordinance restricts each side to a maximum of 20 minutes, or time may be waived at the discretion of the presiding official. If questions are raised, we may ask the applicant to speak again. Afterward, we will call for a motion and a second, have any necessary discussion, and if the matter is not tabled, we will vote to recommend approval or denial of the application. This commission is only a recommending body. The items will be heard by the mayor and council whether we recommend approval or recommend denial. Unless tabled, these items will be heard by the city's mayor and council at their legislative meeting on Thursday, June 15th, and then voted upon by them at their meeting on the following Tuesday, June 20th. Our first order of business is to approve the minutes from May 2nd. Is there any need for discussion? Do I have a recommendation, or a motion, I should say?
I have a motion to approve the minutes.
A second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right. The minutes have been passed. We have no old business, so new business. The first case is item 23-081. Hold a public hearing and consider a request for a change in zoning from PUD Plan Unit Development District 2 PUD Plan Unit Development District 4, plus or minus 21.15 acres located on Slater Mill Road in Land Lot 80, District 1, Section 5, parcel 00800150047. Application by Planners and Engineers Collaborative, Ken Wood. Staff will now present the item.
Good evening, Planning Commission.
Good
So,
evening.
staff received some updated information on this item today, and we are actually recommending deferral of this item. I am able to proceed with the presentation, though, if that's the will of the commission.
I don't think that we should proceed without the staff attorney present.
Okay.
Good evening, Commissioner. Shayla Reed, Community Development Director. I just want to make notion, shall I say, that we have not always had legal counsel at our meetings. That is not a requirement. That's a practice that we sometimes have, but it's not a requirement. So I want to make sure we note that for
Okay.
the action. Thank you.
Okay.
I just feel more comfortable. This particular item has come up before us several times, and I would just feel more comfortable with, if we're going to be talking to an attorney, that there is the staff attorney available.
Okay. And you had requested deferral, you're saying?
Yes, sir. That was based on some additional information we were gathering regarding traffic and the entrance to the site.
Okay. So we'd defer this till July?
Yes, sir.
Do we need to hear from Mr. Wood?
If that's the will of the commission.
You're fine with it? Yes. Okay. Well, if staff is requesting deferral, I guess this is something that,
So I'm recommending deferral of the public hearing. The public hearing hasn't officially started yet. I'm asking for direction from the council on if you would like me to proceed with the staff presentation or if you wanted to defer it. If the council would also like to hear from the applicant, that's also an option. We haven't opened the public hearing officially yet, though.
Will we have to make a vote about deferral?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
before we proceed.
Before we proceed?
So we don't necessarily have to make a vote. We have to make a vote on it before we make a recommendation, and it helps to make a vote before we open the public hearing. So the normal process is that staff does a presentation, and then the applicant does a
Right.
presentation, and then we open the floor for the public hearing. So staff is recommending deferral of this item based on some additional information we're looking into regarding the traffic and the entrances for the site. If the commission would like to hear from the applicant, the commission has that option before you recommend deferral, but that's up to you guys to vote on or decide what you want to do.
I think in lieu of additional information that we will have to consider to make a decision, I think it'd be better we just get all of that information at once. And I'm okay with deferral. I think that's good for us to defer it until we get everything we're supposed to have.
So could you make a motion?
So
Make a motion.
yeah, we'll make a motion for deferral until next month's meeting.
Second.
You have a second?
So, point of order. So we need to refer to a date. I sent an email to let you all know that the July meeting was moved to July 11th due to the Independence Day holiday. And so the motion is best if it says that you want to defer it to July 11th, which is the date of the next meeting.
Well, I'll make that correction and I'll be specific to the date for deferral until July 11th at next meeting.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. I guess-
Aye. I'm opposed. I don't, oh, actually, I just want to abstain for voting, so scratch that.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, because mine's just spinning. All right, the motion carries, and this item is deferred until July 11th's meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you. For those in the audience, if you came for this item, it's deferred till July 11th, so if you want, you can leave. But I ask that you please do so quietly. The next item, the second case is item 23-204. Hold a public hearing and adopt a proposed ordinance to amend Article 4 of the Unified Development Ordinance to add 4.10 and amend subsection 2.02.c for a town center mixed-use zoning classification. Staff will now present the item.
Yes, sir. So this is an update to the Unified Development Ordinance that includes development standards specifically for town center mixed-use zoning zoning designation. This particular zoning designation is only going to be allowed in the area illustrated by the blue hashing in the map in their staff report. This, downtown has a specific set of character and density, and so this is to allow more mixed-use development in the area in and adjacent to downtown. As you know, downtown is growing. The amphitheater will be completed soon, so this is to encourage like some placemaking, some multi-use parcels where we can create like a live, work, play atmosphere downtown. Some key points that you should be aware of is that the minimum acreage is 1 acre. There isn't a lot of available land downtowns, and the current mixed use requires a minimum of 10 acres. And of course, downtown is going to be very difficult to have that much land. And so that's why the town center mixed use was reduced to 1 acre to allow some mixed use developments in the downtown area. There is a development plan that will need to be adopted as a condition of zoning. And so for each rezoning request, it's going to be required to have a pattern book with some sample facade standards, a lighting plan, some traffic ingress requirements, like density requirements, percentage and balance of uses. It also does not allow industrial uses. Of course, warehousing and things like that aren't necessarily appropriate for the town center area. So industrial uses would not be permitted in this particular one. And that concludes my report on this item. I'm happy to answer any questions that you all have.
Just for clarity, that downtown, that's starting, it looks like, where the new underpass, going under Veterans Memorial and then ends where, or what are those boundaries?
Yeah, so the farthest east that it goes is the site of the old mill.
Okay.
It's currently undeveloped and a great place for a mixed-use something. The farthest, it covers the parcels, generally the parcels that are immediately north of Veterans Memorial, and then it covers a few of the parcels south that are near downtown.
So on the other end is down, like headed toward the Boys Club?
It
or-
goes a little bit past North Avenue, no,
North Avenue.
Rose Avenue, goes a little bit past Rose Avenue.
Okay.
Are there any other questions?
Just one more. This particular designation is just specifically for this area?
Yes,
only?
sir.
Okay.
So it's only permitted in the designated area as illustrated on the map.
Could you explain one more time, for my sake, the difference between 1 acre and 10 acres? You mentioned that.
Yes, ma'am. So the current ordinance allows mixed-use developments. However, to have a mixed-use development, you have to have a minimum of 10 acres to apply for it. The challenge with implementing a mixed-use type of development downtown is that developed parcels are already subdivided. So it's very unlikely that we're going to find 10 acres continuously put together that we can use to develop some type of live, work, play, or mixed-use development. So for that reason, we created this one specifically for the downtown area, and the minimum requirement for the rezoning is 1 acre, because you're a lot more likely to have adjacent parcels that you can put together in 1 acre in this area.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Would you say that's common for small cities? Like, not to have access to 10 acres?
Yeah, so in a lot of cities, the different parcels are owned by different people, and they might be buying or selling them or developing them in tandem, but also in different phases. So, you know, the parcels are owned by different people, and a lot of it is already developed. So if we do a redevelopment or we combine them, it's a lot more likely that we'll be able to do that with 1 acre.
Any other questions? Thank you. Is there anyone who would like to speak in favor of this proposed ordinance, ask questions, or make other comments? Please come forward and tell us your name and address. Is there anyone who would like to speak other than in favor of this proposed ordinance? Please come forward and tell us your name and address. Is there any need for further discussion? Do I have a motion regarding this application?
I motion to approve the change in ordinance.
Is there a second?
I say,
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, the motion passes and the application is recommended for approval. All right. Now for staff reports.
So I'll be brief. I have 2 items for you. Both of them are pertaining to the month of July. As I mentioned earlier, the Planning Commission meeting for July 11th, Planning Commission meeting has been moved to July 11th to accommodate the Independence Day holiday. Also, we will have Planning Commission training on July 25th. It's a Tuesday. I appreciate you all with your patience with us moving the dates back and forth. This was the date that accommodated both the training schedule, but also the department schedule. And so we're hoping to see you all there. It will be here in the conference center, and you will receive additional information on that shortly.
July 25th.
July 25th.
Is there a proposed time for the training on the 25th?
I imagine that it will most likely be 9 a.m., but I need to confirm that, and I will reach out to you all via email when the time is confirmed.
And one last question. With the July 11th meeting, do we know how many agenda items there are?
I will have to double check, but I will double check my notes and get back to you.
And I ask because I have a standing meeting on the second Tuesday that may prohibit my attendance if our meeting is, if it's voluminous on the agenda.
Thank you. I will develop a draft agenda, and I will get back to you when I have that confirmed.
Thank you so much.
I do know we have one item,
Yes.
so. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other items, anything else to discuss? If not, I say this meeting's adjourned.
All right.